Alright, what's going on? Little 2Gs, part owner of Circular Trust, and part owner of Jerk Make You Twerk.
Fresh off of work, and your stomach hurt. Trust and believe, you can trust that jerk. Jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk.
Started off doing music, you know what I'm saying? Been doing music since I was 8 years old. We used to have a group called Big 3 and AI that came up under the an older group from us, my father and them, called GMGB, and from ever since then, man, I had my hands in everything, doing shows, doing music, and you know, Circular Trust is like a clothing brand / a record label. So you know, I took upon being part owner of that probably once I turned like 19, 20 years old, and now Jerk Make You Twerk, you have this. We established that probably, I think, May 22nd, 2020. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
When we at the club, it's a let your wish. It's a let your wish. It's a let your wish. Pull up in them forms. It's a let your wish. It's a let your wish. It's a let your wish. You in the line wait. You sideline hate. We bottle pop. Hey, get the shake. Hey, bitches twerk. Hey, money flying. Hey, and I'm fly. Hey, and I'm high. Hey.
So basically, as far as how Jerk started is, my father used to be at his home in Georgia, you know what I'm saying, creating recipes all on the grill, all throughout the house, just cooking. Like, I feel like he started falling in love more and more with cooking, you know, on the grill and cooking for us. And we was basically test tasters and stuff like that, sending it up the road. Everything was good, everything was wonderful. But it wasn't until I started trying to mimic his recipes and call him and get, how you do this, or you know, I know you don't go straight to putting it on the grill. So it went from him helping me out behind the scenes with recipes and all of that to go to other events that I was doing and stuff, just doing it on my own. And that phrase and the name Jerk Make You Twerk is why I created that one event. I was just like, these them jerk wings, these are jerk, this that jerk that make you twerk, them jerk wings. So from then, it still took a year for me to even just really think about starting anything as far as like a food business or anything. It just really was like totally out the blue. Once again, I cooked it for my family. I just like, it's so good. I'm like, what if I sell it? I asked my girlfriend, I'm like, what if I sell it? She like, try. She like, I'm about to shoot the commercial right now. And she like, well, do it. And once I shot the commercial, it was like 1,000, 2,000 views in probably like an hour or so. And it took off from there. One of the partners is my father, who I was just speaking on, just as far as you know, the rest, you know, coming up with the recipe as far as with the chicken. It was a little hotter before, you know, before I kind of got my hands on it, but we still worked together. I mean, other than it being hot, it was still bomb and it still tasted the same. So, you know, we how the whole thing started with the jerk stuff is him and my girlfriend, which is her name is Alonda. It was basically like me starting a business, and my father was like, I'll cook, and she was like, I'll cook the sides. We didn't have the mac and cheese available in the first couple of rounds, so she was focused on the rice and peas and beans and the fried cabbage, and he was helping me with the chicken. And the first one and the second one was so successful that I was just like, you know, y'all put just so much work in as I do, even if it's gathering the orders or whatever, y'all still helping me cook the size and quality, you know, size and food. So it's just like, that's how it came about being a 3-man or /woman business. Is I was just like, you know, instead of me paying y'all to pocket as workers or whatever, let's just go into business together. And I've merged it all to 3 because their help was just so overwhelming. With the first time I knew, I was like, I can't continue this business with switching up people with the sides, or you know what I'm saying, like not the same people on the grills or stuff like that. So just me being business savvy, I just knew that let's make this a three partner job, so we all could go in here equal putting in and what we getting out. But this for my 2 employees for a great year. I appreciate y'all so much. So I gotta turn y'all up. Pops, this for you. They ain't know nothing about it. You know I had to get them right. Alonda, this for you. We finna take over ATL. We already taking over Richmond. I love y'all. I love everybody that came to show us love. I love all the vendors, and I'm gonna pop these 2 bottles for y'all.
One day in the trap, seen a kid with a K. One day in the trap, crack bottle sitting right in my face. One day in the trap, shootouts every day. One day in the trap, shootouts for a day. One day in the trap, you never know who getting smoked. One day in the trap, it criminal town, 100K with no coats. One day in the trap, you tired of being broke, it turned itself dope.
I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of struggles and it's a lot of stuff that people don't really know behind the scenes. Like, for instance, my girlfriend, she owned a part of the business, but as we was creating it, and when I first started the Jerk Make You Twerk business or whatever, it was like she had her own. She was already working a job. My father, he doesn't live in Virginia like we live in Virginia. So, I mean, to be honest, we could talk about the struggles and, you know, the stuff all day that will try to push it for it to not happen and for it to not be successful. But, you know, we kind of just fall back off of that and we brush that off our shoulder. We don't really kind of pay attention to the struggles and the cons. We focus more on like the pros and how can we make it better. The only way we focus on the struggles and the cons is how we can make it better, and we take what we take from that. So when I first announced that I was selling Jerk Make You Twerk, we had 2,000 views on each video, which is Facebook and Instagram, because I post them on both platforms because I have different people following me from different platforms. So between Instagram and Facebook, I said about 2,000 views in the video within the first hour, over 200-300 likes, and basically people started to pre-order their orders and place the orders, and a lot of people, it was a lot of excitement because, I don't know, I guess from just the frame of the food that I had actually cooked to promote the food, it was excited about it, not even knowing that it was more to be done and way more that we had to do, but they was just excited off the first look, and I believe that they knew that, you know, we probably stand on quality from any of the other stuff we previously matched with, like music or clothing or whatever else. So when you're dealing with food and when you're dealing with the food industries, there's a lot of red tape and there's a lot you gotta look out for. So it feels good to be able to get beyond that part and get beyond that and have the support the whole way to consistently help us build this business, because we couldn't have did it without everybody that supported us. You know, they helping us build this thing. So I mean, it feel good to start something. I never expected it from day one, from the first week, or even once the first week or the first 2 weeks was successful. I never expected it to be at a year, and then had a whole anniversary, 1 year anniversary event and all. I couldn't even tell you I seen it coming. Man, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. I sat up in my bed all night, man. I laughed. I was joyful. I cried, a happy crying, and I had to let all of that sink in, because it took me about 2-3 days to let it sink in, because there was so much going on. We're talking about over 600 people showing up to the event, and every last person trying to tell me how they feel about it making a year, or this, that, and this. So after 2-3 days of my feelings settling in, it was a very overwhelming feeling. And to be honest, it just made me want to go harder and made me want for year 2 to be bigger than ever.
Real nigga, I get high till I die. Real in my eyes, get high till I die. Real nigga, I get high till I die. Real in my eyes, get high till I die. Might just smoke a kitty pack. When I drive my phone, I swear it feel like I'm a flash. Real in my eyes, get high till I die. Real in my eyes, get high till I die.
It's a business that's literally coming from literally under the mud. Like, nobody have handed me a check and was like, oh, okay, that I believe in that. Let me, here, go ahead, push your Jerk Make You Twerk. It's not like we had any type of big money lingering around thinking like, yeah, we should start Jerk Make You Twerk and invest our money in this. All of this is literally from the ground up and from the mud up, from invested money from out of my pocket into starting from that to letting the Jerk Make You Twerk make his own money invested. So the only thing I can see and think of, my goals is just for it to turn from that into empires, businesses so big that I can leave down to my kids. You know, that's the whole goal of this whole situation, is that by the time my kids get older, they don't have to go work for nobody else or work for the other man, and you know, they have a business they can look after that is there, because I'm only doing it for them and beyond, you know. what I'm doing right now, and how I'm hustling, this ain't for me. This ain't for me and for right now. This is for the future and for everybody coming up under us. So that's what any business that we have, we only want it as big as possible so we can leave it to the next generation. It's weird when it seems like people from your cities will support something else way harder than what's in your city, but you can't think about those ones, man. You can't think about the ones that's not supporting you, or I know such and such ain't show up to my event, but they was right there at this event or that's it. You can't think about that. The only thing you can think about is the ones who do support you. Those ones who do support you is gonna spread the word to other ones who don't mind supporting you, and you're gonna always have a batch of those ones who act like they don't want to support you. But if you get held up on them, then you'll be wasting a lot of time, if you ask me. To have somebody in your corner to say, yeah, try it. That's all it really took. So to the people who don't have that in their corner, I apologize, and I would say still ignore anybody that tell you can't do nothing. You see what I'm saying? But for anybody who do have their family or anybody in their corner that's supporting and helping them, take advantage of that and prove your family right for the reason they believed in you in the first place. That's all I try to do, you know. I didn't want Jerk or Make You Twerk to start it for 2 weeks or a month, or it be a 1 month trend or 2 month trend and it go away because I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't take it serious enough, or I wanted to leave the work on their shoulders because, you know, that's how it usually go. I didn't want to do any of that. So it just felt good I just wanted to owe them back just from them even believing in me. And it's a great feeling. I can't lie. Best motivation I can give you is you talking to somebody who done seen it all, done been through it all. I'm not perfect. I'm not nobody out here saying that, oh, this or that or whatever. What I'm telling you that is whatever that you want to do in life, go chase after it and do it. And that's what you want to do. Don't see somebody else doing something and you see them benefiting off and winning and be like, well, maybe if I do that too, then I do. No, whatever that you feel in your heart that, okay, that's for me. Don't go do music if art is for you. Just to try to, no. Focus on art 100% if that's what you want to do. That's the best thing that I can tell you, that anything that you want to do, go to the full potential of doing that and make sure it's something that you're going to love to do while you're doing it. And I promise you, even when stuff go bad or stuff wrong happen, it's not gonna matter to you because at least you're doing something that you love to do and getting recognition of something that you created and wanted to do anyway. So, yeah.
Fresh off of work, and your stomach hurt. Trust and believe, you can trust that jerk. Jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk, jerk'll make you twerk.